politicals, because if we have, old people, they're very grumpy, so they'll make decisions and they won't even know what they're talking about. And it's kind of like the arguments that have been happening between these people. It's 2020 and they look ridiculous.
Pandemic.
Yeah.
I feel like, people like maybe like a year or two should be able to vote, but also like Generation Z, they're teenagers, they make everything a joke.
Yes.
So like it's like
they would make everything a meme, like something would just be funny for no absolute reason. They'll try say basically, well, I'm not gonna say this one wasn't funny, but the one when they made Donald Trump a candy corn. That one was funny, I'm not gonna lie. But they make everything to a meme.
Let me jump in here, right? Because I hear you all. I've done some political work and lobbying on a Young Voter Act in the state of New York, which lowered the voter registration age to 16 and allowed 17-year-olds to vote in certain local elections across the state of New York. But young people as young as 16 years old were able to pre-register to vote. So then when they turned 18, then they would automatically get their voter registration. And then a part of that bill also focused on civic education, knowing how government works, knowing like who the attorney general, what an attorney general does, what a district attorney does, what the mayor does, city council, and all these different roles. What is a public advocate, right? Understanding how voting or the political process works. So a part of the bill was to put that level of civic education into the schools, starting in like kindergarten and first grade going up, which it's been about over a year now. So it seems to be, the initiative seems to be going really, really well. So you all have some wonderful insight in terms of, getting younger people more involved in the process. And you all spoke about Generation Z. They were the ones who I was working with closely to kind of, around, and a lot of them were advocates for this Young Voter Act. And we see that there are more national conversations happening around getting younger people to vote and getting them engaged in the political process. But just before we continue, because my next question is going to be, the final question is going to be about your personal goals and hopes and dreams. But I want to know, which generation are you all in? What's the name of your generation?
In Generation Z.
Yeah, we're in Generation Z.
So you're still Gen Zer. So you must be like, okay, so you're in Generation Z, because I'm a millennial.
Oh yeah, I'm 14.
I'm 11.
I'm 12, about to be 13.
Yes. Okay, cool. So y'all are Gen Z. So we know who we're talking to, right? You all see them. So we're at the All Black National Convention 2020, and we're having an interview. We're wrapping this up with Infinity 3. They have rebranded. They were formerly known as the Royal Mix, but their advocacy, their voices, their passion around things such as anti-bullying, and just getting young people involved and engaged in a very positive way, and displaying joy, lots of joy and fun through their artistry is something that is integral to their brand. So final question is, what are some of your goals and your dreams? Like, what do you wish for the future? I know that you all, you can definitely, you're doing music. I see you all on large stages. I see you all as TLC. I see you all definitely traveling. But aside from, or in addition to your goals as artists, what other professional or educational goals do you all have?
Well, Infinity means forever. So I want to go very far with Naya B and Giselle because we've been through a lot.
Yes. So what's the point of giving up now?
Yeah, we can't give up after, we worked hard, a little bit of sweat, a little bit of tears.
Yeah.
So I want to make music and I want to empower younger children because they need a leader that we just don't have right now.
Yeah, basically what you said.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like I just wish that we would go farther, and I hope that we stay together forever, even if we're like not making music anymore, but just stay together as friends as we get older.
Yeah, if we're not making music, as long as we can have like
acting,
we act, dance, sing, rap, model, everything. So yeah, basically, if you don't make
your reels are really creative, right?
Yeah.
those are really creative, but can you talk to us a little bit about your improv classes and acting and like how that has helped you all as young artists?
I feel like it's helped me a lot.
Yeah, because it's like certain things, like when we first tried to do improv class, it was like you're wobbling, but you don't know. So the improv classes, like the third improv class or the second one, it started getting more.
It started getting like easier.
Yeah, and then it felt like oh, you just act on a daily basis. It's like it's very normal to you after you start doing it over and over again.
And it helps with music. With music, it makes us more animated in like what we do, and it makes our music more creative. But improv is also very fun. Like I will admit that improv is so much fun.
Yes, it's like all these different games that you can do to really act. Like when we had our showcase, but it was a virtual, like it was a virtual showcase because of the pandemic that was going on, and it was very fun. Like all of our parents and some friends could join into the Zoom to where we were doing the showcase. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. So we're about to wrap up in just a couple minutes. Before we do, I do want folks to know that Infinity 3 is out of Philadelphia. I used to live in Philadelphia. I'm an alumni of Temple University, undergraduate and graduate school. You all are in a perfect place for music. Back in my day, like when I was there, Jill Scott and like the Roots and all of these wonderful artists like Bilal, were on the music scene. So you all are in the ideal place for music, but you're also in an ideal place for business and entrepreneurship. Do you all have any goals around business and entrepreneurship? Because I know that you all, as a group, you all are a brand. So I need a t-shirt. Like if it costs $50, like I want one, right? So I want to know if you all have like any aspiring goals around business and entrepreneurship. And when you come back onto my platform again, I want us to talk about, that too, and like your music and your brand.
So we're just like getting back to it. So we haven't made any like merch yet, but that will come soon. So expect like cute shirts and like different things.
Like like shirts, we will like make pants, I guess, like phone cases and other things.
Hoodies.
Yeah.
I love it. And we will be supporting you. So we're at the All Black National Convention 2020. This is the 5th annual. It is virtual. You all were here with us in person last year in Houston, and you all completely brought so much energy to the space. And so thank you so much for that performance at the very beginning, as well as this very insightful interview. Hashtag seasoned old men. I am not going to forget that term. Hashtag seasoned old men. That came up in our conversation today around the presidential election. Now, how can we find Infinity 3 on social media and your platforms?
So you can follow us on all social medias at we_r_infinity3. Infinity with a Y, of course. And to answer, and Facebook is just Infinity 3. And to answer someone's question in the chat, I think their name was Lawrence. Do we take music lessons? No. Well, we used to take singing lessons, but we don't take them anymore, which we might start back up. But
yeah, we will start back up.
Awesome. Well, you said on most social media platforms is we_r_infinity3, and then Facebook is Infinity3, correct?
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna close up and wrap up. I want to thank you all so much for your time. Say your names again, and then you tell the audience at the All Black National Convention 2020 where to follow you all from your beautiful voices.
Once again, I'm the face.
I'm Naya B.
And I'm Giselle.
And we are Infinity 3.
And you can follow us on all of our platforms at we_r_infinity3 with a Y. And on Facebook, it's just Infinity 3.
Yes.
Thank you all so much. Have a great, great day and enjoy the rest of the All Black National Convention. And listen, I need my t-shirt order in, okay?
Okay. Yes.
My order in. All right. Y'all have a great one. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, Lawrence.
All right. That was great from Infinity 3. Thank you so much for being a part of the All Black National Convention for 2020. Hey, Jade, it's always great to see you. That was a great interview that you conducted, and thank you so much for doing so. So everyone, we're moving into the next phase of today's panels. And the next panel I'm going to be moderating. And of course, my name is Lawrence Watkins. I am the president and chief operating officer of the Black Business School. I'm also, I guess, one of the co-organizers of the All Black National Convention as well. And our upcoming panel is going to be on finding your purpose and passion. And we thought this was important because the general theme of the convention this year is politics or power, politics, and purpose. And we wanted to make sure that we touch on the purpose piece because it's hard to become politically powerful and personally powerful without knowing where you actually fit into the equation. Because there are so many different roles that need to be filled for a community to actually thrive and survive over the long term. So the earlier that individuals and groups and families can find, what their piece is in the entire system, the better off everyone's going to be. And the more fulfilled personally that you can be while also giving to the whole as well. And today we have an awesome panel of individuals who are going to be sharing their thoughts about purpose, and their thoughts about passion. How did they go about finding their passion? What did they do after they knew what their passion was? And what are they looking forward to doing for the next generation and helping them find their purpose and passion as well? So I'm going to go ahead and get to their bios, and we'll get to it. The first, he really needs no introduction. He is a friend of the All Black National Convention. He is Dr. George Fraser. And Dr. Fraser is the chairman and CEO of Fraser Net, a company he founded over 31 years ago to lead a global networking and economic development movement for people of African descent. Born in Brooklyn, New York, he was an orphan and foster child for 15 years. He spent 20 years in leadership positions with Procter & Gamble, the United Way, Ford Motor Company, before starting his own business, Fraser Net, in 1987. He's written 6 best-selling books to include Success Runs in Our Race, Click, and most recently, Mission Unstoppable, Extraordinary Stories of Failure's Blessings, a book he co-authored with Les Brown. Upscale magazine named him one of the top 50 power brokers in Black America, and Black Enterprise magazine called him Black America's #1 networker and featured him on its cover. He has been named as one of the best speakers in America. In 2016, President Obama awarded Dr. Fraser with the President's Lifetime Achievement Award. So everyone, please, let's welcome Dr. George C. Fraser to the stage. Next up, we have Constance Carter. Constance is the CEO of Catalyst Real Estate Professionals, the largest African-American owned real estate firm in California. Constance has gone from broke, broken, and bankrupt to a multi-million-dollar business mogul, investor, transformational speaker, and wealth activator. As a mom of 3 teens and 1 young adult, 2 of them are entrepreneurs building their own wealth portfolios, continuing the legacies she created. CEO, a house flipper, a cannabis investor, a serial entrepreneur, a best-selling author, a TEDx speaker, a wealth activator, Constance truly lives her motto, nobody works harder than Constance Carter. So everyone, let's welcome Constance Carter. Next up, we have Dr. Nicole Price. So through leadership development, coaching, consulting, keynotes, and other resources, Dr. Price encourages and enables others to live their lives in excellence. Dr. Price received her BS in chemical engineering from North Carolina A&T University, her master's degree in adult education from Park University, and her doctorate degree in leadership and management from Capella University. And of course, she has been a leadership coach for both me and Boyce. So if you want to know who we go to for advice in terms of how do we become better leaders, Dr. Price has been instrumental in helping us in our leadership and personal development as well. So everyone, let's welcome Dr. Price to the stage. All right, next up, and last for right now, we have D1, our good brother, our good friend who's performed at many All Black National Conventions. D1 is a dynamic and innovative New Orleans born and raised conscious hip hop artist, thought leader, and entrepreneur. D1 has performed alongside nationally touring acts such as Lupe Fiasco, Drake, Lil Wayne, Trey Songz, Talib Kweli, Akon, The Roots, Currency, Macklemore, and many, many others as well. Since 2011, D1 has been on 4 successful nationwide tours: the Grind and Hustle Tour, the Too Focused to Fail Tour, the Riding All by Ourselves Tour, and the Heist Tour. All right, everyone, please welcome D1 to the stage, our good friend, our good brother. It's great to see you today as well. All right. So, let's go ahead and get to it. Let me pull up some of the questions that I had. All right, so we'll start with, Dr. Fraser, the eldest and wisest individual of the panel, and who we're very happy to have on board. Dr. Fraser, you've had your business since 1987, but then before that, you worked in corporate America for many years. How did you know that networking, let me rephrase that. What is your purpose in life? And how did you know that through FraserNet, you could fulfill the purpose that you actually had laid out for yourself?
It's a great question, Lawrence. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. One is the discovery of one's purpose. And I think for me, it has been experimentation. It has been taking risks. It has been listening to the voice that is in my ear. I believe that God is constantly talking to us, telling us exactly what to do, but most of us choose not to listen because it requires change. And change is very difficult. It's just easy as sitting on a couch, drinking a beer, watching television. So experimentation is very, very, very important. And through experimentation, you learn to cope with the hills and valleys of life. I mean, I spent 3 years mopping floors on the midnight shift at LaGuardia Airport. If you go to LaGuardia Airport today into the maintenance department, there's a picture on the wall, and that's me. I was the best floor mopper in the history of LaGuardia Airport. How you do anything is how you do everything. And that sort of set the standards for my own personal life. Now, I was not happy necessarily mopping floors. And I asked God in the quiet of my own mind on many occasions, why are you having me mopping floors in the public? I found out the answer to the importance of doing that, and that was to teach me humility. So that absolutely had a significant piece of shaping who I was, and ultimately what I was going to become, a leader. And I do not regret it to this moment. I want to conclude. There's a wonderful quote by Rumi, R-U-M-I, and it says, "Let the beauty of what you love be what you do." Let the beauty of what you love be what you do. So that requires experimentation to find out what in fact you love. It requires obstacles and failures to learn the lessons. And then ultimately, you must do what you love with the people that you love. That's the end game. As an elder, as a 75-year-old, I'm telling you, at the end game is to do what you love with the people that you love. And you can't fail. It's just impossible to fail. Experimentation, risks, listening to the voice inside your head, trust your intuition and gut, and then understand to let the beauty of what you love be what you do.
Very interesting. And that's something I want to get back to a little bit later in terms of experimentation. But before we do that, we'll go over to Constance Carter. So Constance, the same general question for you. What was, I guess, the path for you to find your purpose? And when did you really know that what you're doing now is what you were supposed to be doing?
I'm sorry, I had to write that down, Dr. Fraser. That was profound. Let the beauty of what you love be what you do. That was amazing. For me, early on, I think there was two things that as I ponder this question, as I thought about it, as Dr. Fraser was talking, and can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. As I ponder on the question, I think back to, just growing up, and there was two things that I've always loved. And that was one, helping people, and that was two, Black people. I've always loved my people, and I've always just loved helping people. And even in high school, just being the president of the BSU, and thinking back to the things that I tried to do to really uplift our people. And when I was 23, I got married, had a baby, bought a house. I was in the IT business, and I thought, buying a house was probably the best and the worst experience of my life. It was the worst just because I had a horrible person that helped me, but it was the best because it was something that my family had not done. It was something that I was one of the first people in my family to purchase a home, and I wanted to give that experience to other people. And I figured that this was a way to bring generational wealth to a lot of people that were like me. This is the way that we can really get ahead. And I just took those two things. I remember the first email that I sent out to all my friends and family, and I said, I just want to help people. And I built my career around just helping people. And I know one of the things, a great principle in life is that if you can help one person, then you'll also be successful. And I've always ran my business, not transactional, but transformational. And that's just really helping, to see how many people I can help, not just not selling you a home, but how many lives can I change by doing this? Even in my career as an IT analyst, it was like I always had to find a reason or a meaning to go to work every day. And if I could help somebody do something, that's what it was. And I think that's what your purpose has to really be, is figuring out that thing that God has placed on the inside of you and just going from there. And it doesn't have to be anything super difficult. It doesn't have to be rocket science. It could be something very simple that comes naturally to you, but take that and capitalize on it and just execute it and go for it. So for me, it's just helping my people and, helping my people. That's it. And, our goal is to really close the wealth gap. And that's what we're making a great impact here in California in doing that.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you from the ABNC and the Black Business School for being a part of our community to fulfill that purpose of helping others.
Absolutely, thank you.
So, Dr. Price, the same question for you in terms of when did you find out that, or how did you discover what your passion was, and when did you find that out?
Three things, Lawrence. One is faith, and I mean the confidence that you are uniquely designed to do something. There are so many people who just don't believe that there's something special that they can offer the world. And I always had that faith. The second thing is, I would say, fire. And Dr. Fraser called it passion. And when you think about fire, passion, energy, or commitment, it is likely that it's something you've always loved to do. As Sister Carter said, if you think about what have people been asking you for since you were 7, what have been the things that the universe just continually tugs on your heart with, that for me is fire. And then finally, but definitely not least, is focus. Every time I took the time to just remove all the noise and direct my energy towards what's the one thing that I think the world could use from me, I have always found myself on the right path. Now that path has had crooks and turns and lots of stones in it, but it was definitely always the right path. So I would say those three things: faith, fire, and focus.
All right, last but not least, D1. So same question to you. When did you find out that your calling in terms of what you're supposed to be doing, and how did that process go? You're muted, by the way. Okay, hold on one second.
All right,
there we go.
We good now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My journey towards fulfilling my purpose in life started out as an elementary school student, and I wanted to be the president of the United States. And I was very excited about this dream that I had. And I brought it to, I believe it was my 4th grade teacher at the time. And she told me that she didn't think that I was smart enough to become the president. So that crushed my confidence, that crushed my dream of wanting to be the president. And from that moment on, anything that I wanted to do was dictated by what I felt like other people would accept. So I didn't dream bigger than what I felt like my surroundings would be accepting of. So if I was around my friends in the hood in New Orleans, oh, I want to go to the NBA. You know, if I'm around a bunch of other people who want to be lawyers, oh, I want to be a lawyer as well, just to fit into that environment. And it wasn't until I got to college, and I almost made the biggest mistake of my life. I went all the way to college just to major in something that I had no passion for. I was an engineering major, and I was living my mom's dream for me, because she saw that I was really gifted in mathematics since I was a little child. And she said, you should be an engineer, boy. You know why? Because they make a lot of money. And I was like, okay, ma, sure. You know, you want me to be an engineer? I guess I'll do that. And I was falling into that trap. And it wasn't until I was sitting inside these engineering classes, bored out of my mind, not even knowing what an engineer was, that it clicked to me that this can't be what life is about. This can't be what that fulfillment that I see some people have, you know, in their careers is about. And a few things happened, you know, during my college years. Number one, my best friend got murdered, and that was a reality check to me that life was short. And I said, if my life was to end, you know, abruptly in the manner that my best friend's life did, I would at least want to feel like what I did with my time here was representing something bigger than just myself. My generation is taught to be successful, and success is a very selfish endeavor. It's a very selfish journey. But when you're seeking to find purpose, purpose is about being a part of something